Hello everyone, welcome to NintenDormant, the podcast where we discuss Nintendo games that have been left on the shelf. I'm your host George Banks, and I'm joined this week by my resident guests, John Cartwright and Josh Goldie. Josh, hello!
Hello,
but we're not alone because we're also here with our patrons. Hello!
Yay!
Hello, we'll say hello for them. Hello.
Now this is funny because I'm saying, like, it's been so long since I've seen you guys. Obviously, I've seen both of you in the past couple of days because we've recorded with some lovely special guests. We've got some lovely special guests in the previous two episodes. So how does it feel being apart for 3 weeks, guys, even though it's only been 3 days? Did you miss me? Do you want to hold my hand and give me cuddles?
Hearing the sound of your voice has remotivated me to thrive in life.
You were this close to giving up YouTube, and then
was this close.
You heard the dulcet tones. You're welcome, internet. How about you, Josh?
Going.
We literally recorded yesterday, Josh. So how are you feeling motivated to do another pitch this evening?
I mean, considering the high quality of my pitch yesterday, the top quality of my...
Josh is on, like, honestly, and I know you guys have had a couple of episodes where he's done good pitches, but he's on a ridiculous hot streak. Like, I genuinely think we need to get Miyamoto on the phone and just say, can you just sit in a room with Josh and just... Better than Sword in the Stone, Jason Ball's asking us, because Sword in the Stone was absolute genius.
It was very good.
It was very good. It was Pilot Wings the last week, so you will have heard it by the time this episode comes out. Mm-hmm. It's very good. John, you're going to love it. It's very, very good, but I'm not going to spoil it here. So yes, it's nice to have the gang back together, even though we've been together. And Josh, I think you said a little bit of Nintendo news has just dropped, but John and I haven't seen it. So what is this news?
It's incredibly minor,
great,
but also major, depending on who you ask. All right.
Okay.
So you know they just did those Donkey Kong Bonanza
DLC.
They did the DLC and they did that little mini, I don't know,
like an event,
a tournament challenge event, yeah. Right, and you got like an On Guard trophy. Well, they announced the next trophy for the next event.
Espresso?
And it is Chunky Kong.
Chunky Kong!
He's alive!
Are you kidding?
Lanky Kong and Chunky Kong are coming in the next Donkey Kong Bonanza update.
So, are they in like a brand new HD model?
I guess so. Brand new HD model, presumably the Nintendo EPT design for them, I'm guessing.
Wow.
That is absolutely mad.
They dropped the news on the Japanese Nintendo news thing on the Switch.
Yeah.
I'm livid with you, Josh, because how is that not enormous news for the Donkey Kong
I said
community?
It depends on who you ask.
Come on,
right?
The return
you just
Lanky
told us
Chunky.
Lanky Kong's coming back.
So
as if
casual.
It's not the
Chunky
biggest
Kong
news of the year.
Yeah.
Chunky Kong's the main one. What I need to see is, will he come back with an all-new design, or is it a gravestone? How is he beating the allegations?
I mean, if it was a grave, it would be quite funny. I don't know. We're missing. There's so many Kongs. Yes, huge news. Thank you, Johnny. That is an appropriate response to this news. I believe, John, you did a video about all the Kongs. Am I remembering this right?
Yeah, I did. That was a rabbit hole.
Yeah,
who's your favourite Kong?
There are so many. Pick. Yeah. I mean, pun intended here. Pick of the bunch, Chunky and Lanky, or I mean, out of the side ones. Obviously, Donkey and Diddy, like the big guys.
I mean,
but...
No, out of all the Kongs, who's your favourite?
I like the imprisoned Kong from Mario RPG. Just that enemy, just with that big ball chain attached to him. What did he do? What made him such a bad Kong?
Is he just called Imprisoned Kong, or did you name him like that? Excellent.
Yeah, he's a war criminal from the Kremlin War. Like
fair. The canon Kremlin War.
Crimean War, spelled with a K.
Excellent. The Crimean River. Josh, your favourite Kong?
Obviously, it's got to be Fedora Kong, right?
Fedora Kong.
Where's he gone?
Fedora Kong.
I can't even remember this.
What's he done? Is he actually Donkey Kong's father and he ran out? Nobody knows.
I mean, he just
has a fedora.
It's got the look.
Where's he gone?
Did you determine if Manky Kong was a real Kong or an imposter Kong? Because that's also important to know.
Good question. I can't remember if we figured out the answer to that.
I think he's canonically a real Kong, but he's like an outcast Kong.
He's turned.
Like he was kicked out and joined the Kremlins.
What?
So
I was going to say some absolutely horrendous language. I was going to say, what?
I feel very strongly about
It's
Manky
got
Kong.
real.
It is a podcast. It's a
feeling.
family-friendly podcast. Yes. What a disappointing Kong he is. I've got a soft spot for Wrinkly Kong, especially because she's a dead ghost now, just hovering
Yeah,
around.
dead.
You know, how can you not?
We
like
love
a
the
ghost?
dead Kongs around here, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on.
You know what I
Add
always say,
Chunky
guys.
Kong to the pile.
The more dead monkeys we've got, the better. That's just my stance in life.
Hopefully Manky Kong joins them soon too.
Yes, absolutely fitting. Well, I cannot wait to see Chunky and Lanky Kong's presumably new models in game, in an excellent Switch 2 game. But we are going to play another little game right now. Yes, it's time for the NintenDormant Quickfire quiz. 2 rounds, fastest finger first, followed by player pass for double points. And as always, not as always. As always with a live recording, our patrons will pick our buzzers for John and Josh. Now, do you have any suggested themes, John and Josh, for your buzzer? Is there anything, do you want to go with a Kong theme? We are talking about Panelled Upon / Puzzle League, very confusingly titled series this week. What do you have any suggestions you want to give to the guys?
I mean, if there's anything puzzle game related, keeping it on, doesn't have to be Panelled Upon.
True.
It could be some other random puzzle game out there. There's a lot of them.
Puzzle games need to have satisfying sounds. It's really key with a puzzle game because you're doing action so many times over and over again. If they're not got a good sound, not worth it. John, what do you think?
I'd like some kind of horrific scream, I think.
Okay, yep, sure. Now, Lego Guy suggested Yoshi's victory theme from Tetris Attack. Does anybody want to take that?
I can take that. I'm a Yoshi guy.
He's a Yoshi
Not
guy.
Need
screamy
some
enough
Yoshi
for me.
around
You need
here.
something louder.
Josh and Johnny is saying it's very Halloween. We are recording this just before Halloween, so it's sort of a death scream for John. This sounds good to me. A triumphant yell from Yoshi and a death scream from John. If there's any specific death... Oh, although Jason suggested the Game Boy sound when a Tetris line clears, which is also very
That's
good.
kind of a scream, isn't it? Because the Tetris pieces are being erased from history.
That's true. They're being erased from
The little
existence,
Tetraminos
so
are being murdered. We're going to
that is the
combine
kind
it.
of
So yes, we're saying the murder of a Tetramino and Yoshi's victory from Tetris Attack.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
They are our buzzers. So, John and Josh, here we go. Fingers on buzzers, please. I need to find the buzzer room. We've got not Jason. In the buzzer room, we've got not Jason, but Josh Shon and Jaundice. So thank you, guys. At least I can actually tell who's who this week. Fingers on buzzers, please. Here we go. Debuting on the Famicom, Panelled Upon sees you take control of a cute sprite clearing puzzles to save her friends. But what is her name? Like 0.84 of a millisecond. Yes, Josh. It's Josh.
Yes.
What is the name of that cute sprite?
It's Lip.
It is Lip, of course it is.
Also, it's the Super Famicom.
I was going to make that correction too if I buzzed
Yeah,
it.
it's the Super Famicom, not the Famicom.
I forget. Just call it the SNES Japan. Get on board. Come on. Yes, it's Lip, the cute little fairy. I knew you'd know that one, Josh, because, of course, as we've said many times, we have made Smash characters for every Smash Brothers outfit that's in existence.
Yes.
So you would have made your Lip costume.
I would have made the Lip costume.
Let's see how our patrons did. They nailed it. They got it. It is Lip indeed. She's got
What were your other suggestions?
Mip, Lip, and Slip. I thought I'd keep it.
Slip's a good name.
Lip.
I thought you might think it's Slip if you don't really know. But yes, Lip. And if people that don't know, it's called the lipstick, right? In Smash Brothers, the flower.
Yes.
Everybody just calls it
Yeah.
the flower
Wand.
when I play it. But yeah, excellent. I've just seen Johnny say, "Who dis? John dis." Very nice. Very nice joke. Well done. Right, let me post up question 2 for our patrons. Question 2 is on its way. So, Panelled Upon became Tetris Attack when moving to the west, swapping Lip for Yoshi. But what colour is his baby Yoshi helper? Ooh, it's Josh again.
So fast.
Yeah.
He is very fast.
It's yellow.
No.
Nope.
Nope.
Okay, I'll take it. Yep. Go on, I'll pass it on.
John, do you know the colour?
I can't quite picture this, actually.
It's the Super Famicom one, just so you know. Yeah. The SNES one, actually.
This
but-
is the same
Yes.
one, actually.
Shut up. I was just being annoying.
Yeah, I don't know the answer. I'll go with blue.
He's orange. Little baby
Orange.
Yoshi,
Oh.
yeah.
Are you
Yes.
sure that's not your CRT?
No, it's
actually yellow.
orange. I'm gonna Google it just in case, but I'm now not very confident. Hang on, baby Yoshi Tetris
this.
Attack. All right, but don't look up anything else about the game. Okay,
Yeah,
there is a
Yoshi
green
even
one that
exist?
it's showing me, but no, Little Yoshi. Mario Wiki. Little Yoshi is an orange baby Yoshi character who assists Yoshi during Tetris Attack. He's an orange Yoshi. I do occasionally do research. Let's see.
I am seeing two different results, to be honest. The manual one is orange. The gameplay one is yellow.
Oh, what do you mean the gameplay one? Are you looking at an image of the gameplay?
Yeah.
Oh, he's pretty yellow.
He's yellow.
I mean, he's pretty.
I mean,
yellow.
he looks yellow on
Okay.
the back on the box on Japan.
So-
on the Game Boy box art, he looks pretty yellow to me.
So basically, what we're saying is that everywhere's called Orange Yoshi, but Nintendo have just made him yellow. I mean,
Yeah, look how yellow this guy is.
all right.
I'm
Look how yellow he
gonna post a
is.
screenshot
Okay.
I'm posting a dance screenshot in the chat here.
Lego,
Look how yellow this guy is.
Lego, I promise you, Lego guy.
Why is he so yellow?
It's a dark yellow. So
Which yellow are we
according to the
talking-
wiki,
which
according to the
chat
wiki,
are we in?
Baby Yoshi
Look in the
is
live
orange.
chat.
In the live chat.
In the
So
video call.
according to the wiki, I promise it's orange. Yeah, Johnny says it's on the edge, and he does say it would be hilarious to discover I'm colourblind this way. It wouldn't be for me, but yeah. Do you know what, John? Are you going to give Josh the point? Because if he's going from memory, I think I would say you could say that's yellow.
I think that's yellow.
Okay, all right. I'm going to give Josh the point. So that's 2
I
points.
think it's yellow as well.
2 points for Josh. That could be orange, same colour as the sky background. I see. I'm seeing more orange than yellow. That's what Mitch was saying as well. But yeah, I think it's borderline. It's borderline. So we'll give Josh the point.
The bottoms of his shoes are orange. I'll give you that.
Yeah, but they're dark orange. This is, I mean, again, we got to remember this is also an audio only podcast, so I don't think we can keep debating this for too much longer. It's not very thrilling. But let's see how our patrons did. The patrons have gone with orange. Well done, patrons. You have 2 points. Josh, you have 2 points. John, you no points on the board yet. You've got to get some points on the board.
Not a fast enough man.
Not a fast enough man. All right, I'm going to post up the next one for the patrons. Yoshi Gate. This is the most yellow one I've seen yet. Okay, fair, Josh, fair. I'm happy to give you the post. I'm happy to give you the point. All right, question 3. Here we go. Hopping generations again, and the game becomes Pokemon Puzzle League on 64 and Puzzle Challenge on Game Boy Color. But in what Pokemon region is the game set? Oh, it's Jaundice. Who dis? Jaundice.
Yeah, Puzzle Challenge is in Johto.
Yes, I should have specified challenge. Yes, Puzzle Challenge is indeed in Johto. It is essentially a retelling of Pokemon Gold and Silver, right? But just through Puzzle League.
It's Gold and Silver.
Yeah,
you go
and
around
Puzzle
the world,
Challenge.
do the gyms, just doing puzzles. Yeah.
And you like
Is the 64 one, is that Kanto, or is that a fictional...
I
It's
think
based on
that's
the
just
anime, isn't it?
I think that's a fictional puzzle island. Yeah.
yeah.
Right,
So
yeah.
it's just like its own
It
place.
is cool though because it takes place in the anime. They got like a fully original anime skit at the beginning.
Yeah.
I watched some of the
Really
cutscenes. You're like,
A
what?
crusty opening version of
What is
the
this
anime.
doing on the N64? It's absolutely mad. But yeah, watch some of that. You can. I quite like. I never played them on the Game Boy, the 64, but I was watching. John did a very in-depth Nintendo Life. Basically, John, the video you did for Nintendo Life is the research I've done for this episode.
So I should know some of this.
You should be getting more points. But yeah, no, that you can do certain challenges and things on the Game Boy to unlock Pokemon to become part of your team and stuff, right? So it's it's quite a lot of depth built into just essentially a reskin of this puzzle game. Let's see how our patrons did. It's a split down the middle. We got 50% of the votes for Kanto and 50% for Johto. I'm going to give you guys. I'm going to give you half a
Nothing.
point.
Did
I'm going to give you half a point.
tiebreakers for the...
Half a point. Yeah, I might have to do that, but no, I'm going to give them half a point. Let's be kind. They're our lovely patrons. I'm going to give them half a point for that. Well done. There's real bad audio delay in the Switch version of the N64 Pokemon Puzzle League, sadly. No!
Yes, there is. Specifically, I think it's the Switch 2 version of it.
Oh,
I think it got worse with the Switch 2 version.
Like when
Somehow.
Banjo-Kazooie went to Xbox, right? And everything was like desynced at the start. So Banjo's playing his banjo and he's just like, that's not the right instrument. That's a saxophone playing at the moment or something. So weird that games do that. There must be a reason for it, but yeah.
I think it's an emulation issue on the Switch one. I think there's just something wucky with it. For lack of a better word.
Brilliant. Cannot wait to edit that one out. Right.
Couldn't think of anything better, sorry.
For goodness sake. All right, fingers and buzzers. Question 4. Here we go. 2 points to Josh, 1 to John, 2.5 to our patrons. So, question 4. The Japan exclusive Nintendo Puzzle Collection sees Panel de Pon bundled with what other Nintendo puzzle games? Oh, John was very quick on before I even finished the question.
Yeah.
What games comes with that, John?
Dr. Mario and
Dr.
Yoshi's
Mario.
Cookie.
Dr. Mario and Yoshi's Cookie, very good.
Aye.
Jason, John's got this one. Something Yoshi-Woshi with it. Excellent, yes. Yes, well done, John. Yoshi's Cookie, Dr. Mario 64, I think specifically.
Yeah,
64.
it's just it's Dr. Mario 64.
Yeah, best. Yoshi
no Cookie.
Yoshi no Cookie. We might get into it, but your favourite out of those, John? I think
no Cookie.
Puzzle League's your top pick out of those three.
For sure.
Yeah,
It's a cool version of
definitely.
Yoshi's Cookie, though, because it's entirely original. Whereas, Panel de Pon, it's based off the cancelled N64 games. It
Right.
feels very much like Pokemon Puzzle League does. And then Dr. Mario is also an N64 game. Whereas Yoshi has really beautiful visuals, like really, really nice sprites.
Well,
So it's interesting, at least.
It kind of implies that maybe the Yoshi's Cookie one is also a cancelled 64 game, but
Maybe.
we've got no confirmation of it.
yeah, and they did
either.
kick him off Panel de Pon. Like, they owe him a nice game. Like, to basically go, like, yeah, we're having lip again. Get out of here.
You know what's weird about Yoshi's Cookie? It doesn't get released, ever.
Because
No.
the rights for it are owned by someone else, I think.
Yeah, Nintendo lost the rights to Yoshi. He's gone.
Oh,
Yeah, they did, I'm afraid so.
he's never coming back.
Yeah. Yoshi Cookie is one of those weird games because it's like licensed out. Like Nintendo licensed another developer's game and then put Yoshi over the top of it.
Brilliant.
Okay.
That's really
So that's
funny.
why. And then the Super Nintendo one is the reverse of that situation. The same developer who owns what Nintendo licensed from,
Right.
then licensed the Yoshi IP so that they could put it on theirs.
Well done, Nintendo.
There
well
was a
done.
time where it was in a Wii U Virtual Console reel, and then just didn't come out.
Yeah.
So good. Right, here we go. I've got the
Should be
next
the
question
Tetris
up.
company who own the license for it, actually. I think eventually, after buying companies and being absorbed, I think Tetris now owns it.
Well, Jason's saying the Tetris guy made that game, right?
Is it Alexei Pajanov?
It's got a weird history. I think he might have been involved
Right.
in like the original. I don't think he worked specifically on Yoshi's Cookie, but I think he might have been involved in the original like version of the game that didn't have any Yoshi licensing or branding on it.
Okay. I remember what I was going to say. We've touched on Dr. Mario because we've done our Dr. Mario episode. And as I was driving along today thinking about my pitch for Panel de Pon, I was like, oh, I've got this great idea. And then basically about 10 minutes later I went, that's Josh's pitch from our Dr. Mario episode, which is basically just make an RPG with Panel de Pon encounters. Can't do that. Can't just recycle old episodes. Right, I've reset the buzzers. No, I haven't, but I have now. Last question of Fastest Finger First, and this is
Nice one,
decided
patrons.
between the two of you, John and Josh. Are you ready? Mm-hmm. All right. Puzzle League DS brought us online multiplayer for the first time in the series, but what is the maximum number of players that can face off against each other in a single game? John has already buzzed.
I might actually be wrong about this. 4 is what comes to mind. Is it more than 4?
I don't know.
I'm saying 4. Okay, 4.
It's wrong. Josh, do you know?
No, 4 would have been what I would have guessed as well. Online game specifically.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I'm not sure.
I'm just going to double that and say 8.
It's going to be in between, isn't it?
It's going to be like 6.
Two. It's just a two-player game.
Oh, it is just 2.
Is that right?
See, I thought that might throw
you
you
know what?
because I think in the puzzle collection for GameCube it's 4,
Yeah.
right? You can do 4
That's
player,
right.
but then
Yeah,
it goes back to
yeah.
DS,
That's
back
the
to
only
2.
4-player one.
Yeah, like
Nice.
I'd just thought that it would have been 2 locally, 4 online, but I guess
Yeah.
not. I guess it's just 2 locally and 2 online.
Oh, it's nothing better than successfully setting a trap for John about puzzle games. So sorry, John. Jason's just mentioned that the last question was the first 100% patron correct answer rate ever. Well done, patrons. Well done.
Well done,
Did you nail this
patrons.
one? Because this would propel you into the lead for Fastest Finger First. Let's find out. Oh, nope. They almost all went for 4 and one went for 8. So yes, nobody got that
there we
one.
go.
Nobody got that one. It's just a 2-player game. I'm suddenly hoping that
High
that's
five,
correct.
8.
Can somebody? I would say somebody verify that, but don't Google it because I've got more questions about the game.
Okay, yeah.
Fair.
From highs to lows, we're still proud of you, Mitchell. You're still doing very. Do you know what? Patrons are still in the lead with 3.5 points. John and Josh 2 points and 2 points. So,
all right. Okay.
Oh gosh, we need a tiebreaker. Decide who goes first.
We do. Back on the buzzer. Back on the buzzer.
But this isn't going to be a. Oh, I already had a tiebreaker, but I'm going to have to just use it here. Okay. So Lip still has a presence in Nintendo with her flower wand featuring as an item in Smash Brothers. But which character has a representation of the series within their moveset? Oh, that was closest, Josh.
So close.
Very close.
It's Kirby.
It's Kirby.
The block.
Yeah.
The block.
The
He's the little panel. The block.
Yep.
Okay, Josh, that means technically you've come first in fastest finger first, so you're going to go first for play or pass.
We love it. We love it technically.
Yes, although we love a technical here.
I shouldn't have given him the yellow.
I have started doing this as well. I've started loading it up. I mean, you're gonna hate yourself now. I've started loading up questions 1 and 3 of Play or Pass with harder questions because the winner should be taking them. So
that is true. I mean, I can't fault the logic.
You've got the harder questions now, and you only have yourself to blame. So the Game Boy version of Tetris Attack had to be built from the ground up and plays almost identically to its console counterpart. But while the SNES could handle 12 lines across the screen, what is the maximum number for its handheld counterpart? Is it a maximum of 9 lines, 8 lines, or 10 lines? Why have I said that backwards? I've said 8, 9. I've just read that backwards. 8, 9, or 10 lines.
My gut instinct is to say 8.
Do you want to play or do you want to pass?
I'll play it. I'll say 8.
I think he's right.
He's wrong. I mean, John, you get the point, but it's 9 lines. It's 9 lines.
Oh.
Yeah.
I know it feels drastically lower than SNES.
Yeah.
Because you reach the top way faster.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, if you've got 12 lines and you're down to 9, you've lost a quarter of your playing field. Like it's a big jump, actually. I think 8 would be teeny tiny, but
when you play Pokemon Puzzle Challenge, you hear the danger music more than you hear the regular music.
Yeah. oh my god! just trying to move the garbage. Let's see how our patrons. That was a tough one to start off with. So let's see how our patrons did. Let's see if they've nabbed the 2 points. It's split right down the middle between 8 and 10.
Well then.
So there's no points.
9's a weird number.
It is a weird number.
It is a weird number.
No
10
points for the
felt like
patrons.
too much. It felt like there needed to be more cut from
I know.
So.
Sorry, patrons, no points on that one. Oh, that was a low scoring question for everybody. Well, John technically nabbed the point.
Absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
John wins
by doing nothing.
Technically by default. Excellent. Right, I'm going to send the next one for the patrons. John, this is your play or pass question for double points. Are you ready?
Yes.
Here we go. All right. So, pre-DS, and with the exception of the Game Boy, how many different tiles would you expect to see in a panelled upon or puzzle league game? So, how many different color tile types are there? Is it 5, 6, or 7?
So counting the colors, yeah.
Yes.
So we've got red ones.
I'm not going to say anything as you list these off.
Okay, red ones and yellow ones, blue ones. We've definitely got those 3.
The Pikmin variation. Yep.
Red, blue, yellow, orange. I feel like. What are my options again? How many guys say?
5, 6, or 7 color blocks.
5, 6, or 7. I feel like it's 6.
Are you playing?
Yeah.
It's not 6. Josh, do you know how many it is?
Is it just 5?
It's 7.
Is it, because one thing I wasn't sure was, are there grey blocks and garbage blocks? Are we counting
grey
those?
I am counting the grey blocks.
Okay.
Yeah, because there's no orange. There's yellow, green, blue, red, and pink or purple, I guess.
Yes.
I thought there was orange.
There's blue and blue. Like there's blue and kind of like a dark,
only a yellow
light
Yoshi,
blue,
there's only an orange Yoshi.
There's no orange because Yoshi's orange. There we go. Canon confirmed. There's 100% true. Yes.
I wasn't sure if we were going to count the garbage block and the grey block.
I didn't count the big beefy things, but I did count the grey block. I mean, we could give John He did
Well, no,
say
John
6,
said-
but great. No,
John said 6 when it was
fine.
5.
No, giving it to Josh. That's absolutely fine. So yes, red, green, yellow, blue, pink, and grey. Let's see how our patrons. Mitchell in the chat saying this question is making me question whether I'm colourblind. So sorry, Mitch. Join the club. The majority went with 6. Second place votes was 5, so no votes for the actual number 7, so no points. This is the closest quiz. It's basically John has 3 points, Josh has 3 points, and our patrons have 3.5 points.
Oh, jeez.
So
We've got to step it up.
It's on you guys. You got to take this from the patrons. You got to get these ones correct. Are you ready? I don't feel like you are, but that's fine. All right.
Depends what the questions are.
Yeah. Again, you've got quite a hard one now.
What is the game series called?
Yeah. Oh no! Oh god!
Does he want Puzzle League or Paddle to Pond?
You have to name every iteration and variation in order. Right, Josh. Which version of the series introduced a 3D rotating well for the player to tackle? Was it Pokemon Puzzle League? Was it Nintendo Puzzle Collection? Or was it Puzzle League DS? You can play or pass. You can pass to John.
Rotating 3D well.
Yeah, you play the game as normal, but you rotate it so it's like ever just going on forever, basically.
Yeah. Is it the...
I love it. Josh never, by the way, patrons, Josh never lets a question go. He will just agonize over it. You know it's in there somewhere. It's lodged somewhere.
Everything's in there somewhere.
Everything's in there. The Nintendo Encyclopedia.
I'm just kicking myself over it. I'm just going to go with the Pokemon one, the 64 one.
Yeah, he's nailed it. Yes, correct. 2 points for Josh. Well done.
Definitely wasn't going to be the GameCube one. So I was just trying to think, because I was stuck in my head thinking like, I don't remember this in the 64, but it would make sense for it to be there because
it's like a hardware showcase kind of.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
but like equally, I could see it on the DS, but then it wouldn't be 3D. But then if it was just scrolling forever, then
it's it comes back on the GameCube though, John, right?
It does, yeah.
Yeah,
because the GameCube one is basically Pokemon Puzzle League, but with fairies.
Yeah.
Like, that's why I knew it couldn't start on the GameCube one, because if it was in the GameCube one, then it had to have been in the 64.
Oh, man, what if it was just fairy type Pokemon? That'd be a good one. A nice crossover. Ooh, it's not too late to change your pitches. Right, let's see how our patrons did. So they are split down the middle with Pokemon Puzzle League and Puzzle League DS. So I'm going to give them. Do you know what? I'm going to give them the 2 points because the majority did say
just to push them ahead of us.
Maybe I'll give them 1. I don't know. I'm going to give them 1.5, which does take them up to 5 level. So it might be a complete tie, this whole quiz, and I don't have another tiebreaker, so that'll be interesting. John, are you ready? Let me sling this across the patrons. Here you go. So, while gameplay has remained pretty consistent across the decades, there have been some shake-ups to the formula. But which entry in the series introduced items for the first time? Was it A, Pokemon Puzzle League for the N64, B, Nintendo Puzzle Collection for the GameCube, or C, Puzzle League DS for the DS? You'll notice a theme with the answers there, and that they're exactly the same as the last question. Which one gave us items?
DS.
Oh. Yeah.
Dis, as I call it.
Yeah, very confident. But bit anticlimactic, John. You could have built up a little bit. Yes, it was.
I don't know.
Oh, there we go. The tension. I've not played Puzzle League DS, and I was sort of trying to look up a bit of information, but it was all quite vague. Was it a good addition? The items? Did you enjoy it?
I don't know. It's probably the most boring entry. So
yeah, it's very stripped of personality.
Yes.
They went very minimalist. Like there's an option to toggle on the old blocks from the Super Nintendo, and I stick with that almost all the time because the new blocks are really vanilla. Any of the items don't do a whole lot. It's that
exact feeling of modern logo design, where they simplify it so much that it loses all personality.
Yeah, was
That's
it
Puzzle League DS?
Is it Bandai Namco is the absolute casualty of that one, right? It's just Bandai Namco, Bandai. Why do I always get this wrong? Bandai Namco.
It's Bandai Namco.
Bandai Namco. Yeah. Bandai
Namco. But it's just like font now, isn't it? It's quite dull. Yeah. I want big chunky logos that make me go ooh when I look at them. That is 5-5 for John, Josh, and the patrons.
You need some kind of tiebreaker here.
Absolutely
another
ridiculous.
tiebreaker.
Okay, right. I've posted up a tiebreaker for the patrons. So, John, Josh, fastest finger first to settle this.
Buzzing again. Okay.
We are buzzing again. Okay. In the GameCube sequel, and possibly in Panel Upon, I don't know, but in the GameCube sequel, what is the name of the final boss? Okay, I can give you multiple choice. I thought it might be a fast finger first, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah, multiple choice, please. I can't remember offhand.
Fingers still on buzzers. Fingers still on buzzers. I will give you multiple choice, but here we go. Fingers on buzzers. Is it A, Lion, B, Thanatos, or C, John's buzzed?
Yeah, it's Thanatos.
It's not Thanatos!
No?
Josh, do you know?
Well, what was C first?
C, Cordelia.
Oh, no, you're right. Yeah,
Cordelia.
Josh, is Thanatos one of the final bosses?
Yes,
Thanatos is the one before.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then Cordelia is the blonde, sort of big fairy.
Right.
Thanatos is the main baddie if you do, I think, normal mode.
Right, but the hard mode is...
So what you're saying is John never got good enough to see the final boss. It's confirmed that John just wimped out, basically, before the final boss. I'm disappointed in you, John. Let's see how the patrons did.
How do
they
you
get it?
play this game? What is it?
Yeah. Oh, you match the colours on the box.
Oh, that's what you do.
That's it. The patrons, again, split it down the middle for the two that were incorrect. So they get half a point, which means it's still the closest quiz we have ever had. So, Josh in last place with 5... Oh, no, John.
Last place?
John in last place with 5 points. Sorry. John in last place with 5 points. Patrons in second place with 5.5. Josh takes first place with 6 points. Well done, Josh.
Well done.
Well done, everybody. A very close quiz. Well played. But Josh, you will now be going first as we move into the main event. So yes, the game series we are talking about this week is the Panel de Pon series, or Puzzle League, or many other different names depending on when and where you played it. A quick history lesson for those who don't know. Debuting on the Super Famicom in 1995, Panel de Pon is a match 3 puzzle game that turns many conventions of the genre on its head. Instead of positioning blocks to fill space and clear away lines, Panel de Pon has an ever-rising well of already complete lines that you have to chip away at by swapping pairs of tiles. Though you can clear lines by matching horizontally or vertically, players can only switch a pair of tiles horizontally, presenting the opportunity for chains and combos with clever planning that dumps garbage blocks onto your opponent, though these themselves can be converted to useful tiles once a panel touching them has been matched. The game was reskinned and rebranded contentiously as Tetris Attack when releasing in the West 1 year later for the SNES, with a Game Boy counterpart launching on the same day for the Game Boy, with both games effectively replacing Lip with Yoshi. The 64 and Game Boy Color saw an IP swap yet again, this time with Pokemon for Pokemon Puzzle League and Pokemon Puzzle Challenge respectively, despite an unreleased sequel to the original featuring Lip being virtually ready to go. This came to the West only with the option to tackle a rotating 3D well, the only major difference in terms of gameplay, and the 64 version lent heavily into the license and features Ash and all the beloved characters from the anime, while the GBC title has you take on the gyms of Johto in a retelling of the game and style close to the Super Famicom original. The series arguably reached its apotheosis in 2003 with a Japan-only release, the Nintendo Puzzle Collection, combining a new version of Yoshi's Cookie, Dr. Mario 64, and finally a true sequel to Panel de Pon, a revitalized version of the scrapped N64 game that saw the rotating 3D well finally come to Japan, and is the only version to feature 4-player multiplayer. A few more pared down entries followed, Dr. Mario and Puzzle League confirming the dropped Tetris branding and its Western name moving forward for the GBA, followed by Puzzle League DS in 2007, though the latter did introduce items as a series debut, and online matchmaking too. That was a lot. I'm sorry, but it is
There's one
a
more in
complicated
there.
series.
One more.
I haven't mentioned. I was going to mention it as part of our talking points, but you can bring it as you bring it up now, please. I think one of our patrons has mentioned it too, so please. What's the entry I'm missing?
Animal Crossing New Leaf.
Animal Crossing New Leaf, a very pared down version of it, right?
A New Leaf amiibo, whatever it was called.
Yeah.
And technically
When you
the
say
DSi
pared
way
down. Pear is also a block in that game because it's all fruits.
Very nice. There's also a DSiWare version, which is like even more pared down.
A little bit of Puzzle League.
Puzzle League.
Puzzle League.
Itty bitty bit of Puzzle League.
Yes, so it's a mad, like, it's very hard to describe the series because it hasn't really changed since Panel de Pon, but it's gone through so many like IP shifts and iterations and completely different name changes that it feels like it never sort of had the chance to thrive in the same way that Tetris did or other puzzle games, basically. I mean, John, you're the big puzzle head, so let's start with you. You know, what is it that makes it? You did a huge video for Nintendo Life. So what is it about Panel de Pon or Puzzle League that speaks to you? What makes it such a sort of important puzzle game for you?
I think it's inherently just a very competitive game. Like you can play it on your own as an endless, but the back and forth of the garbage mechanic, I think, is more more tangible than what Tetris has. Because it feels like you really are having this back and forth with the other player, constantly sending garbage back and forth, utilizing what they send to you, and trying to get all those combos. It's a very visceral puzzle game. And I think the theming is always a big part of it too, and that's why the DS entry feels so minuscule. Because the Yoshi theme, the Pokemon theme, the Fairy theme, they're all really strong. And I think Lip and Crew they have potential to be fantastic.
Criminally underused, yeah.
Yeah. And we see with Puyo Puyo that people really do jive with, anime-esque characters, and I think Nintendo have that kind of appeal right there. But they're not using them for whatever reason.
No.
It's the same problem that Puyo Puyo faced back in the day, because when we did get a couple of Puyo Puyo games in English back in the before the 2000s, but obviously when it came over proper, it was Dr. Robotnik on the Genesis and Kirby's Avalanche on the Super Nintendo, and it was the same idea. I'm pretty sure Nintendo of America was just like, fairies are for girls. They don't sell. And so they wanted to use the Tetris branding because the Tetris name was so strong. So they just swapped them out for Yoshi, because I guess Yoshi's more masculine than fairies. And
butch. The first thing I see with his little sexy booties, I think, oh yeah, look at that butch guy walking down the street.
They did that. Well, interestingly, they then released Yoshi no Pon.
Yes.
Which is a Yoshi game across the whole world.
Yeah.
The Game Boy one.
So this is the thing, right? So, and again, I couldn't touch on everything. Somebody said he's definitely more orange. Yes, he's definitely more orange. You can't say all of it in that because the history, I always try and make it a sort of relatively short recap so we can, get into discussing the game. But it almost feels like every iteration that came to the West also went back to Japan, and then was sort of, if it came from Japan, it got reskinned in the West, but then they got the one that we got. Very confusing, the whole thing. And you even had Tetris 2 as well, which is more similar to Tetris than Tetris Attack. So it's a very odd choice to give it that. I think a good idea, though, in terms of, yes, the branding and also Yoshi. Yoshi was new, he was a big deal. To give him that game, to sort of go, hey, we're going to push this puzzle game at you. It's a very clever idea. Let's talk a little bit about Panel de Pon, where it all started. John, you've been touching on the fairies. We've not really talked much about them. People know Lip from Smash Brothers, but there's a whole roster of characters in the game. And what I like about Panel de Pon is I've never completed it. I've sort of tinkered with it, but there's a story. You rarely get that in puzzle games. You sort of get a loose thing. I played a lot of Wario's Woods growing up. I used to love the sort of, going through and beating certain characters, but that was it. You never there was no overworld stuff or anything like that. But Panel de Pon is like a decent story, a decent-ish story and a decent game, a little game wrapped inside this puzzle game. And I think that gives it an edge over other puzzle games as well as the mechanics. Have you ever completed it? What did you think of the story?
Yeah, totally. I played it in Japanese. I don't know what a lot of the text says, but I feel like having that context for traveling the world is a really cool incentive because with a lot of puzzle games, when you do the arcade mode, it's very much just round. Maybe there's a speech bubble between the two, but it's not like you're really traversing a world and progressing. No. And Panel de Pon does that really well, and so does Pokemon Puzzle Challenge. I think especially because you have the context of retelling, a Pokemon adventure, and it works incredibly well. Yeah.
How about you, Josh? Have you ever sort of played through one, completed one, enjoyed the story, or is it just more about the gameplay?
So I played through the original Panel de Pon, and on hard. I've done it on hard mode. I think I would probably use save states for hard mode, to be entirely honest. Just to get through the whole thing. And I've played through the GameCube one. I don't know if I've actually played Tetris Attack, because my first Puzzle League game was the DS one. And I already...
I'm sorry.
I already knew about... I know. I already knew about Lip. And I already knew, like, Panel de Pon, and I was actually, like... just because of how I am, I was already like a fan of Panel de Pon, despite never having actually played any of them.
Yeah.
So
the mystery of this Japan
So
game.
I got Puzzle League, and then was like super disappointed at how flavorless it was.
Yeah.
Like to the point that the Japanese version of Puzzle League DS does have Lip in it as like an unlockable. You can let an original version, and they removed it from the Western release, which is just super frustrating.
Yes, very frustrating.
But so I have gone through and I've played the story, and like it's as far as the story goes, it's it's fine. It's like something weird is going on. Lip's going around, and all of her friends are brainwashed, and then you think like it's Thanatos once you get to the end, and then actually it's not. It's Cordelia if you do the hard mode, and then you find out that the whole thing was like a test, because I think Cordelia is like Lip's mum, and it was all a test to see if Lip should be the next like Queen of the Fairies, something like that.
Cool, right?
So then Lip gets promoted at the end of it. It's also like really weird when you bring in Panel de Pon 64, because you think it's a remake, right?
No,
like
it's
with
a
everything.
You think that's
looks.
Lip, but it's not.
Yeah, but it's not. It's someone called Furil.
Yeah, yep. Great.
And every
Classic
character has a different
Furil.
name except for
The bosses,
like
right?
Cordelia and Thanatos,
Yeah.
who are still the same, but everyone else is a different name, and it's like, why though? Because they look basically almost
identical.
exactly the same.
Yeah.
So
I also want to shout out the soundtrack. It's one of the best Nintendo
yeah.
soundtracks they've ever had. It's
very
so
good.
good. Every single one is a banger.
And like even ones like Puzzle Challenge and Puzzle League, right? I was sort of listening to some of the OSTs building up to this, and like they've got remixes of classics that you love from Gold and Silver, and they're like they've largely just given them a sort of chunky beat underneath them to sort of push you along while you're playing the puzzle games. But they're great soundtracks.
Yeah, listen to
really good.
Goldenrod in Challenge.
Yes!
That's a really good one.
Very good one. I talking about this as well, it makes me want to see if I can go get a patch. I mean, somebody must have put a patch for this game, right, to translate it into English.
There's an English translation patch for Panel de Pon. I want to say I played that English translation patch for Panel de Pon before I played the NSO release.
Right.
Because I do own Panel de Pon on physical cartridge as well.
Yeah.
Like for my Super Famicom.
That's awesome.
It was one of like the first things I got when the first time I went to Japan.
Oh man, Josh, I got to come to your house.
Cool. Unfortunately, because it's one of the first ones I got, it's not boxed, because I hadn't swapped to buying things boxed specifically then.
Okay,
but I do have it. It's neat. I will say though, it's one of those really funny situations in Kirby Avalanche is like this as well, where because they basically brought it over, but swapped all the characters with the Yoshi characters. They changed some of the dialogue, but not necessarily some of the tone.
Right.
So you have like in the hard mode with Yoshi when you get towards the end of the game, and it's like, we have defeated Bowser, but surely he's not beaten.
Yeah, there's some really...
We can't just beat Bowser. We must crush him.
Yeah.
Excellent.
We can't just be strong. We must be the strongest.
It's so good if like two Yoshis met and just went like, "Oh my god, your hair looks fabulous." What? What? What are you doing? What are you talking about? I do want to play. I'm actually I'm having quite like a lot of flashbacks now to playing Wario's Woods and getting really annoyed that there was never an end. Right? You'd have these encounters like you were saying, John, with the speech bubbles and stuff. Be like, "Oh, I've got to be close to Wario now," and it never happened. I mean, I don't know if maybe there was an end to that game. It doesn't feel like it.
It has a final boss, but I don't know. Maybe the game just loops back round. I've never ever gotten further than like the second encounter in Wario's Woods.
Again, heavy use of save states, I think, to actually get through that. So yeah, and I even wrote in sort of my talking point for the episode, that we didn't touch on the DSiWare and sort of Animal Crossing spin-off, because there is so much to talk about. But there was also Satellaview content for the Yoshi version that got sent back to Japan. So like there's even more Panel de Pon that we haven't discussed.
Yeah. I think that Satellaview one is just the Yoshi version, and that's how they distributed it in Japan.
I think so.
Because Japan has the Game Boy version. So Yoshi no Pon is like a Game Boy version of Panel de Pon, which we got over here as Tetris Attack for the Game Boy.
Right.
But they obviously didn't get the original Super Nintendo version of Tetris Attack like we got.
Right.
So I think they just cut it up and re-released it on Satellaview because they desperately needed content for that.
I think what we need,
and it would look new.
We need a board with like a picture of each cartridge and lots of red string to sort of like, just get this sorted out, get it all down on the page. So you do have this like confusing start to life with the fairies and Panel de Pon, very much its own IP, and a strong Nintendo IP in Japan. Transferring over to Tetris Attack with Yoshi, a sort of mix-up over here. But then I think the real sort of moment for this game was when it pivoted to the Pokemon IP, right? Because, it was just absolutely gigantic. Again, it's one of those things that Pokemon obviously is still huge now, but it's hard to convey just how massive it was in the 90s. It was just everywhere and everything to so many people.
Did we get the 64 one over here? Because we didn't get Dr. Mario 64 in PAL regions, but I don't know if we got Pokemon or not. Because I never had
we did. Yeah, I think we
did get
yeah,
Pokemon. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Because the first time I played that was when it came to NSO.
Yeah.
Right.
Pokemon on the Game Boy Color one I know we got. That one I do own.
Right.
It is weird that we didn't get Dr. Mario, though. That's very weird. Yeah.
Super weird.
Well, I think there was a phase, because towards the back end of the 90s at Nintendo, they had sort of turned around and decided Japan doesn't like simple games. We should cancel all simple games or send simple games just to America. And that's why we got, because Japan didn't get the Pokemon Puzzle League, because it was obviously, they did get, I think, Pokemon Puzzle Challenge. I think they might have got that one eventually. But I think it was a similar situation in that they did Yoshi on the Super Nintendo, and then they made a Game Boy version of the Western one. We got Pokemon Puzzle Challenge because they cancelled Panel de Pon 64, but then NOA were like, "Oh, well, we can use this."
Yeah,
and did the Pokemon thing, and then that was successful. So they turned Panel de Pon Game Boy Color into
did they turn
Pokemon
that back?
Puzzle Challenge?
Yeah, but then did they turn that back to Japan?
Well, that's what I'm trying to figure out, because it definitely was a Panel de Pon game originally, because you can actually use a code to boot up Panel de Pon in Pokemon Puzzle Challenge.
So again, this came up in John's video, and I started to write the code down, and then about 20 inputs in, I went, I'm not doing this anymore, because it's literally like press right 24 times, then press down 20 times. I will post a link to John's video in there, but yes, you can play Panel de Pon in Pokemon Puzzle Challenge for the Game Boy. But
they did release Puzzle Challenge in Japan. I just double checked.
Oh, right,
so
okay.
it was the 64 one came out over here, but not in Japan. And then they released the Game Boy one, but with a Pokemon theming in Japan afterwards.
Yes. Mad. So we've talked a little bit about the sort of the remixes and things like that. I think it's a shame that there was no change to gameplay. Right? It was essentially just the same gameplay. It feels like if you're going to do sort of items and things like that during a Pokemon series, or type advantage, things like that, that would have been the time to do it. Did you have this one then, John, at launch, or is it something that you came to later as well?
Mostly later. So I heard a lot about Tetris Attack through YouTubers just growing up.
Right.
And that seemed to be like a lot of people's favorite Super Nintendo like multiplayer game. I was like, wow, I should try this out. So I think I played that like on an emulator or something, and I really enjoyed it. And then the years went by. I eventually picked up Pokemon Puzzle League. We're talking like a decade later after that.
Right.
And then when it came to NSO, my passion just went full force. I got really addicted to that Japanese version.
Yeah.
And just bought like everything in the series, like every single game, and loved it.
Yeah. It does, like, I sort of touched on the Game Boy Color version, having the sort of completing challenges to sort of acquire more Pokemon in your team, even though they don't really do anything. It's just sort of a nice kind of gimmick, I suppose you could call it. The 3D well, what are your thoughts on that? Because that is quite interesting. That is quite a big gameplay shift, actually, that you're not just got the flat screen in front of you, you're sort of constantly rotating, and offers up a lot more possibilities in terms of where you can switch the horizontal tiles to, right? Is it something that kind of, did you enjoy it, or did that feel like a gimmick as well? Did it kind of take away from the purity of the gameplay?
I think it's good as a way to change the pace, but it's definitely not my main way to play. It's cool because you have to always be aware of the entire board rising. So sometimes you'll be pulling off combos at the front, but then the back's rising up, so you've got to quickly shift around. I think what stops it from having longevity, though, is it's just single player. Like you can't play that multiplayer. There's no competitive angle. So it's cool when you're playing on your own, but I usually just go for standard, single board Puzzle League, though.
Yeah, fair enough. How about you, Josh? Have you sort of dipped into the 3D well?
I don't know if I think I have like once. I not really played a whole lot of Pokemon Puzzle League on the 64. I'm Pokemon and not Nintendo Puzzle Collection on the GameCube. Like I own that physically, but I've not played it. It's more like I've jumped into it once. It's mainly because I just haven't really had anyone to play it with.
Yeah, that's the cool one to play with people, though, because it's 4 player.
Yeah.
Yes,
exactly.
And I think all of these live by their multiplayer experience, right? A lot of puzzle games do, and this one, because of the sort of depth and strategy, is brilliant to play in multiplayer. Actually, it's a very enjoyable game for that. Puzzle, and then we're going to jump to Puzzle Collection on the GameCube. I mean, this is the ultimate, right? Because you've got 3 classic puzzle games in there. You've got 4 player. We've talked a little bit about, was it Furel, the descendant of Lip?
Furel, the new protagonist.
But there was great features like you could, John, correct me if I'm wrong here, but you can. If you've got the GBA adapter, which I've got somewhere.
You try and explain it, 'cause it's really cool.
So you've got the GBA adapter, you plug it into the GameCube, for things like 4 Swords, when you'd go into a cave, you'd see your own little screen, all that kind of stuff. But with this, you could download a simplified version of those games, Dr. Mario or Panel de Pon or presumably Yoshi's Cookies as well.
Yeah.
And you could basically download it into the ROM of your little Game Boy Advance, and you could just play the game without it being connected to the GameCube.
Once it's downloaded, just detach from the GameCube, and as long as you've got battery life, you've got that game on there permanently.
It's awesome. What a cool feature, and
super cool.
Such a shame that we didn't get that over here. Because I think it was a very underutilized connection, actually. That I remember getting Samus's fusion suit in Metroid Prime, and then getting my ass kicked because you're taking a lot of damage in that thing, and then using it for 4 Swords Adventure. But that's kind of it. And maybe a bit in Wind Waker with a Tingle tuner. I think
a lot of them are like, you need 4 GBAs, 4 friends, 4 connectors. It's a big ask. Whereas this is actually a really simple implementation. Just that you need a Game Boy, a GameCube, and a cable, and then it's all you. Like you don't need someone else to do it. It's a really really cool use, and it's just for Japan.
Yeah. So it's something I only just realised now. I think I'd learned it before and forgotten. But this relates back to a question someone asked before about them bringing Nintendo Puzzle Collection over and translating it. When they bring it over, I actually think they did translate it and just didn't release it.
I think you're right. There's a few games like that in their vault.
Yeah, because I just re-stumbled across it because I wanted to make sure I got Pharrell's name right, so I looked it up in between. And apparently it was rated by the ESRB.
Yeah, there's
a logo.
There's a
Nintendo
screenshot.
Puzzle Collection.
I think in Nintendo Power or some other magazine of the American version.
Yeah.
It exists.
So annoying sometimes.
Yeah, and in this, it's not called Puzzle League. It's called Panel. It's just called Panel to Pon.
Oh my god!
But they call the panels blocks instead, and it mentions the Game Boy Advance.
The feature
in it. You can plug in your Game Boy Advance and use it as a controller, or transfer your favourite game to play it on the go.
Let's hope it comes to the GameCube. They released Star Fox 2. Stranger things have happened. If there's enough pressure, maybe it will come.
We got the PAL version of Drill Dozer eventually.
Yeah,
that's true.
That was also unreleased.
They've got a few localized games they just didn't release, like X, Lunar Chase. That exists in the backlog.
We're going to talk about that on this podcast, and I don't know what we're going to do about it. So we've got Johnny saying here that yes, it was an underused feature. Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles. Did you guys play that with it? Yeah,
I own that, and I've never played it. I played it because a friend of mine was like, "Oh, we should do this," and I was like, "Yeah, cool, I'll buy it. I'll get the stuff."
We've got to have a time where we just play a bunch of GameCube, Game Boy Advance.
I've got a stack of Game Boy Advances here. Can we do this, please? We'll make some sort of quest.
We can play 4 Swords Adventure and be better at it this time, John.
Yes, please. I have actually played that with Johnny in this chat, and I would always get dumped on playing like who's the player that's most evil, and I would always get picked, and I was just bossy. I was never evil. It's always for the good of the group.
So we know who to target now.
Yeah, all right, fair enough. Yeah. That's so mean. I'm just doing what anyway. It doesn't matter. So yes, then the sort of last entries really then are the DS ones. We sort of talked about items and things like that. But the big thing about this was that for the first time, if you turned it sideways and you played multiplayer, you could actually see properly both wells fully. So you could actually have a proper idea of what your in the West anyway. Obviously, you have the 4-player one in Japan, but you could properly see what your opponent was doing. Matchmaking online. There was also a birthday battle match where you'd be matched with people who had the same birthday as you, which would reset every week.
Cute.
That's
which
pretty
is hilarious.
cool.
That's really cute, actually.
Yeah. So, but like we said, it's sort of stripped down. No IP attached to it. And I think that's a real shame. I don't know. I think it's probably too much to say it's the death knell. We've also got a question here from Jason. Do we think, what's a better name? Puzzle League DS, which is the EU one, or Planet Puzzle League for the US?
I mean, Planet Puzzle League is a cooler name.
Cooler
I just
name,
kind of wish it had then a more planet-based aesthetic.
This is it. It's like they're kind of like, I think you're right. I think it is a better name, but they're both still quite sort of bland and generic and not really.
Yeah.
Didn't really do anything with the series. I think they dropped the ball there.
Yeah, I think a big problem with Puzzle League DS is that it was even bland in Japan.
Yeah,
and I think it not doing well in Japan is probably what killed off a lot of their motivation to bring it back. That and probably just not thinking of any way of iterating on it. It is something we've talked about, but Puzzle League on the DS still does feel like Puzzle League on the Super Nintendo.
Yeah,
like it's the same and this is a problem across basically all puzzle games. How do you really iterate on the basic formula they've got? Once you've added 4-player multiplayer and online, what else is there to do? They tried the items, but it didn't really work. And maybe that's because it just wasn't contextualized in a fun way.
And even then,
it would have worked if there were fairy powers or something.
Yeah, and we've said, about the 3D well, very cool feature, but ultimately, is a sort of nice little side thing, but not the main game. And the main game is what you want. I think Tetris, doing Tetris 99 is an incredible example of somebody taking a puzzle game that you can't really change and making something incredible with it. But I think it is a challenge to bring those series back, even ones as long running and sort of varied as this. So let's find out how we're going to do it, because Josh, no pressure, but you won the quiz, which means you are now the president of Nintendo, but we are the board, and we demand that you bring back the Panel Upon / Puzzle League series and you make it a great big success. So please tell us, how do you plan to do it? And board members, please fire any questions while Josh is going through his pitch in the chat.
So, back when we first made the original Panel Upon, it's Lip and all their fairies, and then when they brought it over to the West, they cut them out, they kicked them off their own debut game and replaced them with Yoshi. Mm-hmm. And so there's a big portion of the fan base that thinks this is a Yoshi game. Thinks Tetris Yoshi, they associate Yoshi with it. Lip has never really gotten that appreciation in the West because of that. People always think of it as either Pokemon or they think of it as Yoshi. And, that's not very fair. Like, we have quite a fun, colourful cast here of cute little fairy characters with a fun little story, and they never got that what they deserved on this. And so, what I think we should do, right, is just give them a little payback. So we're gonna take Yoshi,
like vengeance. So we're talking vengeance.
We're gonna take Yoshi game, and we're just gonna reskin it. And we're gonna make
Yoshi
game a Panel Upon game.
Incredible.
Take Yoshi's Crafted World and make it.
So this is Panel Island.
Panel Island. Yeah,
that's the name of the game. Or Puzzle Island. We can localize it that way.
Excellent.
And
keep it confusing. You're going to keep it confusing, having two different names.
We're going to change the name. Yeah.
Great.
And it's going to be a Yoshi's Island game, essentially,
right.
in basic concept. In that it's a platformer with collectibles and a whole crayon, cute visual aesthetic. Except it's all about the fairies now. Now you play as Lip, and you're going through each one, and you battle each of the fairies at the different castles as you make your way. It's basically like a retelling of the original Panel Upon story,
right?
But with more action to it, more Yoshiness to it.
Which Yoshi game is this? Sorry.
We're going to do the original Yoshi. Yoshi's Island on the Super
So
Nintendo.
who's riding on whose back?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, there is a little cute little mascot in Panel de Pon, right?
Yeah.
Like it's some sort of I don't know what it's called.
I can't remember its name either.
Is it Baby Lip? It could just be Baby Lip on Lip's back. It might be a
There's
bit
a
weird.
little guy.
but it
There's a
could
little
be.
guy.
I think there's a little guy. I think his name is Papuri. So we're gonna say it's Papuri.
Papuri. Yep, good name for a character. That will stick with
Papuri
kids.
on Lip's back.
Yep.
And we'll go around. You got to get there. You know, Papuri might get, if you get hit, Papuri will fly off and start crying. A really obnoxious animal screeching because it's a little bunny rabbit thing.
Yep.
So you got to get that back. You're collecting flowers because she's flower fairy. You know, it's one of the collectibles. You collect little flower petals instead of coins because she's a flower.
Yep.
So flower fairy. Or actually, maybe we make it flowers of the health instead of stars, and then you collect blocks instead of coins. You collect the panels.
That's gonna get the buyers clamoring for it. Ooh.
Yes, exactly.
They've swapped it round.
Like, we're going to do a full makeover, but we understand. We at Nintendo here, we get it. It was a puzzle game originally, and we are beyond the era of just reskinning old games for new ones.
Are we?
To make new ones? I mean, we can
I've
make
got
it
Link's
HD,
Awakening on the shelf.
right?
Yeah, like, I've got a Game Boy game for my Switch on the shelf.
I mean, okay. But we're going to add some puzzle elements to this. So when you get to the boss encounters, at the end of the castles, it will suddenly transition into just being Panel de Pon again.
Nice.
Okay.
So the boss encounters are Panel de Pon. But everything else around it, you know that one cutscene, the little cutscene of Lip walking on the rainbow to a next encounter?
Yeah.
That's now a game. We just expanded that out.
Nice, like a mini game.
Full.
Oh no,
I mean,
no,
you say
the whole
a mini game, but it's the majority of the game.
Yoshi's
really, so-
Island. Yoshi's Islandness of this game is the overworld map of Panel de Pon, and the boss battles are still in there.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Incredible.
The boss battles have just been replaced with panel battles. Now,
Okay.
you think that one Sonic Mania boss where it's just suddenly inexplicably becomes Puyo Puyo?
Yeah.
We're just doing that.
It worked
We're doing
there.
that for the
Worked
bosses.
there. Why would it
worked
work here?
Exactly.
And it will work
We got
here
a
again.
case study that I'm going to show to the team at Intelligent System. We're like, do that. Do that.
This is intelligent systems,
why
is
didn't
it?
we think of this?
Yes. We're
Brilliant.
going to get Intelligent Systems on this. They made the originals.
They did.
Yeah, they did.
Yep. So that we can do it again.
Can you imagine intelligent systems now who make these giant, incredible games? Just like, you remember that you made like this tiny little puzzle game. Can you take that, not do anything new with it, but reskin an old game that has nothing to do with you, please? Yes, if you want us to, that's fine. We'll put two people on it while we're still making this other massive thing. Okay, so we've got puzzle battles instead of boss battles. Please fire some questions in the chat for this.
Is it
mad
Baby Lip?
bitch?
So, we've been asked if it's Baby Lip. I mean, I said it was the mascot, but if enough of people want it, we could make it Baby Pharrell, and we can try and connect the dots here.
Oh, riding on her mum's back.
this.
Explain the law.
happens.
Explain the law.
Explain the law. That's something we can do. When
That's
bringing
what
this
people
back.
have been crying out for with this game. We just want the full story. So
we're gonna use them. Also asked in the chat what we do in Vibes soundtrack wise.
Yeah.
Oh
So
yes, good
Tetris
question.
Attack. Tetris Attack was Yoshi's Island music, but like remixed to sound what puzzle games. We'll just do that in reverse. We'll just
Nice.
take the music from Puzzle League
Make it a
and
bit chill.
remix it into being more of an action platformy type feel.
So-
Put some
I-
bongos on it.
I have a question about the visuals. So we're
Okay.
reskinning Yoshi's Island. Is it 16-bit? Is this still a Super
Yeah.
Nintendo game?
Are we talking sprites or are we talking like a modern reimagining?
No, okay. It will be with it'll be in 3D. It'll use 3D models.
Okay.
I want to try and replicate the same crayon-y art style
Yeah.
that Yoshi's Island has. The same really cute style, but it needs to be in HD. So whether we do that via 3D, cleverly done 3D models that look like they're 2D,
Yeah.
or if we do it as actually 2D drawings.
Yeah. It's a double
Whatever
hook.
is
It's a double
gonna be-
because people be like, "This is a Yoshi's Island remake," but also,
Yes.
what is
Also,
this franchise I'm learning about? Double
And it's
double.
always-
Pong remake.
I
We're
think-
remaking two things at once.
Also, as well, John, you did a video recently about like when remakes turn things on their heads, right? You're saying about Resident Evil swapping the jump scares and stuff. So when you've got
Yeah.
this boss battles coming, you're like, "Oh, I know this boss battle." Bang! Puzzle League.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because look, Panel Upon and Yoshi's Island are both on NSO, so if we're going to remake both of them, then we have to twist it.
We've got to twist it.
And put it on
This makes perfect sense. Does the lipstick from Smash Brothers make an appearance? Like, is
yeah, well, that's going to be because
is it instead of her tongue?
Yeah, I'm going to say Lip can't just tongue out.
Can she fully ingest Shy Guys? Does she like scoop up a Shy Guy with a flower and just open up her jaw? Like absolute horror show. What does she do with the Shy Guys?
So, that's what the lipstick is for.
Yeah,
the lipstick. And actually, I said the panels were the coins. That was a mistake. It was a slip of the tongue.
I understand.
Freudian slip.
Everybody does that.
The panels are actually the eggs replacement.
Okay.
So you're turning the enemies into
that's
panels.
Good. That's good. Yeah.
And then you're throwing them, and then they hit enemies. They go pon.
Yeah, that's how it works in the game, right? Like she turns the bricks into garbage with her lipstick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay. Cool. Are we seeing like so? Obviously. So, Yoshi's Island, you do pass Baby Mario from Yoshi to Yoshi. It's not just one Yoshi throughout the game. So are we seeing the other fairy cast? Like, are we going to bring in the whole cast, or is it just Lip? Are we sort of... Because I feel like you're trying to build up Lip as a Nintendo character. So are we going to instead stick with her, or are we going to expand her universe and use all the fairies at our disposal?
So all the fairies are going to be there, but they're going to be the bosses of each.
Of course.
Of each area.
So
the bosses of each castle. Yeah, exactly. Because it might be a bit different. As fun as it would be to pass them along each fairy, I'm pretty sure one of those fairies is like a mermaid. So I don't really know how they're flopping along here. Like
just a little puddle moves along with them. It's game logic. It makes sense.
And you got to build the brand. Lip is the brand.
Exactly. Lip is the brand. So we're going to keep Lip around it the whole time. And then the transformations, we're going to magical girlify it, recontextualize it. So like instead of body morphing into a submarine, she'll turn into a mermaid.
yeah.
And instead of forming into a helicopter, she'll get like her fairy wings.
Sure.
Oh god,
we'll be able to temporarily.
It's been
fly
so long
across.
since I've played. Is that all in the original Yoshi's Island? It is, isn't it?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah,
I completely forgot about
Yoshi
that.
just body morphs into trains.
Yoshi's Island also introduced the little hidden parts of terrain. Like that's like a very new Super Mario Brothers thing. Like you walk into a wall and it's actually see-through. Yoshi's Island did that. Innovative game. So we've talked about the single player a lot. Is there just a puzzle mode?
Yeah. We'll just have a puzzle mode. It'll just be from the menu.
Yeah.
Just have single player, multiplayer. Multiplayer is just puzzle mode.
Yeah.
Lovely.
And that's it. It's just versus puzzles. And
4 players, 8 players. What are we talking?
I think we're talking 4 players.
Okay.
And 4 players per Switch.
Disposable Hero says any Easter Yoshi eggs or
Yoshi
series
eggs.
references.
Very good.
Yeah. I want to reference not just Yoshi, but also Animal Crossing.
Okay, not
Because
Pokemon.
that also had the crossover. I mean, I would love to, but last time I went to the Pokemon Company, they went, get out. So that ain't happening. Right. But yeah, I think so. The special stage at the end of like on Yoshi where you jump through the ring and you get the bonus challenges. I think we can have Yoshi pop up there.
Yeah.
Isabelle pop up there.
Not a full banishment,
challenge.
not a full punishing of Yoshi. All right, fair.
Like there's a chance of them showing up as a cute little Easter egg. Throwback.
Sorry, I'm just loving the idea that the Pokemon Company has an armed guard at their door. Hi there.
Pokemon is a serious franchise.
They're a big company.
Even me, the president of Nintendo, cannot just walk through the doors of the Pokemon Company.
Were there moles in Yoshi's Island? I can't remember. Were there moles?
Moles?
Because
Piranha Plants are big as Shy Guys. It feels like it's mainly Shy Guys.
Yeah.
I mean, Shy Guys are a lot of them. I don't know if there's any moles.
What are you thinking? Why are you thinking about the moles, John?
Mr. Rossetti, he could be a mole.
Mr. Rossetti, there we go. So we're blending in a few others. They took...
Yeah, well, they're going to be cameos. We're going to have to...
Disposable Hero says they took the guns from Pal World. Very good.
Nice.
Very good. Yes, they did.
Yeah.
Go on, Josh.
We'll make up a bunch of enemies and stuff, and we'll draw across the whole series. Like, we just have to think of enemies for fairies. Thanatos is the one who's, like, built up to be the main villain, right? So we'll have a bunch of little demons, little impy dudes.
Is there going to be any kind of boss fight? Do you feel like with no boss fight, that might be a little bit underwhelming if it's always just sort of puzzle games? Is that maybe like a door to unlocking the bosses? You've got all the cool like scaling of Baby Bowser and stuff at the end. Are we going to have any of that? Or is it always no boss fight, puzzle fight?
In Yoshi's Island, when you throw like an egg and you hit the enemy and they get stunned, in this, when you do that, it initiates the battle. So like you hit them and then it initiates, and it's a small battle of Puzzle League, and then when you win it, it then goes back to the more combat focused thing, and the enemy takes damage.
Ooh.
It's like to decide whether your attack was effective, you have to then beat them at paneled upon.
Oh, that's pretty cool. All right, okay, I like that.
And then the further into the game, the harder it is you go. So you not only have to get your action skills well, you have to be able to play paneled upon real fast.
All right, okay.
Yeah. We'll throw some gimmick ones because I think we should have the 3D one, right? We should bring that back.
The well.
So like,
you think so?
Yeah, I mean, why not?
Okay.
Like,
some gimmick boss fights. Yeah, actually, it's a one-off.
So like,
yeah.
So like, we can have
that.
because there's 2 bosses in every world in Yoshi's Island. So the first one can be more standard paneled upon, but then the harder one can be the 3D one to add a bit of extra difficulty to the game.
Yeah, all right.
Get that cool 3D effect in, and we can twist some stuff up. We can borrow from Puyo Puyo some different gameplay, just stuff.
Just nick it.
Just
fine,
take them
Nintendo. Nobody's coming after you. Any final questions from the board as we wrap up? We've got Johnny asking, will there be a Cordelia style twist at the end, like a big story payoff, or is it sticking close to?
So you know, Yoshi's Island has those 2 bonus levels at the end of every one, or at least it was 2 in the Game Boy Advance version. If you do all of them as well, so basically if you go for that 100%, the last bonus level will have a new boss fight against Cordelia.
Nice.
Which will be the actual ending of the story.
I do like it when 100% actually gives you something worthwhile, so I would come back for that. I would do that. And will the game have a drastic reskin in its Japanese release, or will all regions get the same thing? Are you going to reskin it back to Yoshi for Japan? Because that would be the best twist.
Just give them Yoshi's Island again.
It's going to be Yoshi in Japan,
but this time with Tetris
not in the
Attack as well.
West.
Yeah, so good. It's like, why? What have you done? Why are you doing this? Any final questions for Josh John?
No, I think I'm tapped.
Yes, the circle of reskins. Yes, you could definitely have a lovely Disney song about that. Well, yes, all right. So a reskinning of Yoshi's Island called Panel Island, with new visuals and sort of a SNES remake with a few twists and turns. Very nice. John, you are now the president of Nintendo, but we are still the board, and we still demand that you bring back Paneled Upon / Puzzle League. So please tell us, how do you plan to do it?
Okay, so I look at my boardroom and I say the word mistakes. Mistakes, the lot of you.
Just casual abuse of your employees. Cool.
We've made a huge mistake with this series, with this branding. We've gone from Paneled Upon to Tetris Attack to Puzzle League, both in Pokemon form and non-Pokemon form. Made sense with Pokemon. They do leagues. What are we now? What is a Puzzle League? Makes no sense anymore. Mistakes. So we are erasing the naming history, and we're going straight back to Paneled Upon. We're going to bring that global. Puyo Puyo did it. They had Puyo Pop for a while, and then just went straight Puyo Puyo. So if Puyo Puyo did it, we're doing it too. That is one of the biggest franchises in Japan, pretty big in the West now too. We're going to follow them closely. And there's one title that Puyo Puyo did that this board director likes a lot. The idea of Puyo Puyo Chronicle. Who's aware of this entry in the franchise? Raise your hands. We've got one board member there. One board member doesn't know. Let's explain it. All so right. In Puyo Puyo Chronicle, it is a overworld RPG. Al, the protagonist of Puyo Puyo, gets to roam around freely. There's a full story. There's NPCs. But all of the combat sequences are games of Puyo Puyo. And so basically, it's just an RPG where the combat is Puyo. So we're going to do that. We're doing exactly that. We have Lip in a little rainbow island going around solving people's problems. You get experience, and the more experience you get, the more garbage you send. Like you level up, you get stronger, you'll get more moves. We'll have little items and unique abilities, maybe cooldowns. So like you're in the middle of combat and you've got 4 skills equipped and they're cooling down. One of them's going to make all of your blocks into like red blocks. One of them's going to erase some lines. One of them's going to make your opponent freeze for a moment. We're going to have just skills and things like that to make it a bit more RPG-ish. And we're going to have a really great story written by Hideo Kojima. He's down for it.
Lovely.
Finally.
Lovely. Something for him to finally get his teeth into. Real depth with this game.
He wants a bit of a genre change. He's been quite serious for a while. And he thought he'd come in and tell a really in-depth pound-upon story, explaining how life is. How does life come to be, and what is life? That's what the story. That's the crux of this story here.
What is life?
Makes sense.
Liv has gone on an adventure to discover what is life.
Meaning of life.
Okay, all right. We've got an overworld RPG similar to Puyo Puyo Chronicles, written by Hideo Kojima.
Shouldn't have said that
You absolutely should. Board, please start firing questions into the chat. Are we seeing the return of Cordelia? Is Cordelia still the final boss for this game too?
Fake out. There's going to be a credit scene halfway through the game where you beat Cordelia and you feel like you've done it. And then, it gets torn away like Kid Icarus Uprising, and it's actually the sequel protagonist, Falulu. She's evil now. Oh no! Gotta get her.
Can't believe it. How
sad.
could she do this?
Her daughter turns matricide. Horrible. Josh, any questions for John?
Yeah. So in Puyo Puyo Chronicles, you don't just play as Al. You can have a whole party of Puyo Puyo characters. Are we doing the same thing here?
Absolutely. And also taken from Puyo Puyo, we're going to be doing a really cool story, all voice acted. Everyone is going to have their own arc. So you're going to look at Amity and you're going to be like, what's she all about? And, well, no, she's a Puyo Puyo character. You're not going to look at her.
What's she all about?
Go on,
Why
John.
is she in this
please,
game?
Please name me all the party members.
You look at the Blue Mermaid one. What's she all about?
Yep. I've got the character list right here. Please,
Here's the point. By the end of this game, you'll know the names of all these characters.
Because it's going to be a global brand. Finally.
Brand.
Global
We are going to lean
brand,
into this, though, because Puzzle League, no one's attached to that. No one knows what that is. There's no face to that. We have a face this time. The global world is going to know about Pound Upon. You're going to go to Comic-Con. People are going to be dressed as Lip. There's going to be a show floor. There's going to be a cosplay convention where everyone is going to be Lip. That's how big this is going to be.
These other party members aren't doing very well.
Yeah, you built the global brand for one of them.
Everyone is Lip.
What about Cecile? What about Raya? What about Think? The classic blue hair
They'll be
fairy.
big too. They'll be big too.
Okay. All right. Okay. I don't believe you, but okay. We've got the fake out. Who is the true final boss? Did you say? Oh yes, you did. Pharrell. So we've got that.
Yeah, Pharrell.
Disposable Hero asks, will there be choice trees that affect the story or battles? Is it going to be quite linear, or is there a lot of sort of many options that you can take?
You can adjust who's in your party, and they'll have different lines of dialogue depending on that. But no choice tree. We're telling a very clear story. There's no room for confusion here. Everyone's going to be on the forums being like, remember that bit? And you go like, yeah, that was hard hitting.
Yeah, on the forums. Yeah. Of course. Are we also time traveling with this game?
We're bringing back forums just for this.
So
to get the feel.
Johnny's asked. So I can't. Sorry, forgive me. Did you say is it fully voice?
It's fully voice acted.
Fully voice
Hollywood
acted.
Town.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep, Hollywood. Excellent. Yep, Scarlett Johansson as Lip.
Of course.
Who else?
Of course.
We've got Charlie Day. He's in there somewhere.
Which of the fairies is Charlie Day?
Josh, did you have a question? I think you had a question.
No, I was going to say, Jason asks, do you think the makers of Puyo Puyo Chronicles will be upset by this game that's inspired?
They'll be honoured.
Heavily inspired.
We did this?
We made this, guys. Oh.
They can credit it themselves if they want.
I think they might be a bit annoyed, especially if you have like the reach of Nintendo behind this game.
Well, they should have remastered their game onto the Switch or something. Is their loss?
They should have done
it.
it.
It's their loss.
True.
Lazy. They had been so lazy.
They didn't release Puyo Puyo Chronicles outside of Japan, so it may as well not exist.
That's true.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And they also say, will it use the Joy-Con mouse? Yeah. We'll have two styles of gameplay. We'll have the Super Nintendo just moving the cursor around, and also the DS style of just being able to, free move anywhere. You're not
Very
locked.
nice.
Yeah.
Click and drag.
So random encounters are going to be small games of Puyo Panel to Pond.
I made the mistake earlier too.
We are ripping, we can't even gloss over how much we're ripping this game off. We keep saying it.
But are we having the 3D Panel to Pond mode? That's the name I can't remember.
Is the 3D well coming back?
It's not.
Yeah.
Nope.
It's not at all.
We are trying to keep things simple because we already have that genre shift of going around the world and then playing a puzzle game. I don't want to confuse it much more than that. I want people to feel like they have mastered that core grid and they're always getting better at it, not only through stat boosts, but through personal growth.
Okay. All right.
Are we adding any more coloured blocks?
Yeah. Brand new one.
Yeah.
How many were there, John? How many?
7.
There were 7. What's the brand new one? The copy one that's already
Rainbow.
existed. So.
Rainbow.
Oh,
it can go with anything.
Clever way to get out of it. Very nice.
Wonderful.
Actually, do you know what? Nice little gameplay twist. That has not existed before. That's what you don't need items. That's what you need. Simple game changer. Simple game changer.
We are also going to have a big multiplayer mode as well. Like, the story mode is maybe what you advertise, but the longevity of this game is going to be in the multiplayer. And we're going to have four player online. We're going to have a bunch of party modes. There'll be an item mode where sometimes the blocks are items and you have to clear a row and that would activate the item. Stuff like that.
Yes, Jason asks, is there going to be an orange and yellow block that you can barely tell apart in colour?
You know what?
Just feels like an attack, to be honest, Jason.
We're doing a rare Nintendo accessibility thing where you have a colorblind mode.
Yay!
Where I don't quite know how. I'm not an expert, but people are gonna be able to play if they're colorblind.
You just do black and white blocks with different shapes on. Done.
I'm gonna say the panels already have different symbols. They already have different symbols on
That is
the
true.
blocks.
That is true.
So I think that's already the colorblind option.
We've also got this very unique mode, which is going to be a showcase for HD Rumble 2. And if you played Welcome Tour, do you remember there was a certain game where you had to guess what the shape was by feeling it? Does anyone remember that? Did anyone play that game?
Oh, no.
Yes, I did. Yes,
I've seen people play it, but not played it myself.
Well, this is going to be for paneled upon experts, okay? Because every block is going to feel a bit different. And you're basically going to have nothing on the screen. And you have to feel what's on the board by putting your Joy-Con mouse down and feeling the texture of each block. Can I match these? These 3 feel similar. Can I? Oh, yeah, it worked. Sensory
while
mode.
It's rising still. While it's still rising.
It's rising at a faster rate than usual.
High it is up.
Yeah, I mean,
I hope it just rumbles harder the closer to the top you're on.
Johnny's saying, a criminally underutilized
From colorblind to totally blind, yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yep.
Let's let blind people finally play Panel de Pont. Absolutely.
Yep.
I'm 100% on board with this.
So my question earlier was missed, which was, are we getting any cameo characters in this, like Yoshi,
anyone
Isabelle,
from Puyo
Captain
Puyo?
Rainbow?
Oh yeah.
Jarl.
Well, Lip was in Captain Rainbow's game, so
Exactly.
is she going to return the favour?
We're saying no way. No way. No, this
way to
is
catch
an
solid
original
Panel de Pont.
brand. We're not leaning anymore. We're not leaning on anything. We're going to make this the biggest brand in the world.
Okay.
Right.
Just make it a Pokemon game then, and then you're done. You're fine.
All right.
Any final questions for the board?
What big marketing showcase do we have for this to really push it as a worldwide global brand? What are we doing?
You know the guy who voices all the movie trailers?
Yeah.
The one who goes like, in a world. Like that guy. We're going to have him come in.
Yeah.
And he's going to do the trailer for it.
Panel de Pont.
That's the only thing you need to sell.
Yeah.
Sell anything.
And you'll have your
that
casual
guy.
audience to be like, wait, this is for me? Because they're going to know.
I know. This guy talks about all my favourites.
Yeah, exactly. Anything this guy likes, I like. Jeez. Jack Black as Lip. That's a good shout, Johnny.
Yeah.
I mean, we had Scarlett Johansson penciled, but actually I think maybe Jack Black will take it. Will we see super attacks like Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo or special moves that aren't just spamming orange and yellow blocks?
Yeah, that is actually a good question.
It's a good question, yeah. No, we're going to keep it to those. Like you can equip skills that you can use that cool down throughout the match. But no, we're not going to be throwing any like actual like special moves out there really.
Okay. All right. Okay, all right. Well, very nice. So, yes, an overworld RPG with pure,
Three
inspired
for three,
by Puyo Puyo. I'm definitely going to say it when I round out the pitches. So, yes, two very different pitches from the two of you. I'm going to throw in one final pitch. We're running low on time.
Who's making John's?
Oh, Intelligent Systems. They're back at it.
Intelligent Systems. Okay.
Sorry, I just had Hideo Kojima, but yes, Intelligent Systems as well.
It's too late to retract that, isn't it?
It is. It really is. It's about time they partnered up on Panel de Bon. So I'm going to quickly throw out my pitch. Please just chuck any questions that you have, patrons, while I'm going for it. But for me, I really like that Panel de Bon had a very light story, but it had a story, right? And I think Panel de Bon is accessible now. You can play it on the Switch, so I'm not too worried about that. I'm going to take inspiration. I'm going to take inspiration from another game here, which is the Shovel Knight spin-off, Shovel Knight King of Cards. Fantastic, right? It's a great platforming game, really tight quality gameplay, and the action is broken up by playing this bespoke card game that they've made within it. So I also want Lip to have her time in the sun. I want her to have an overworld adventure, and it's a true sequel to the GameCube game. You're playing as Lip II, the daughter of who has to travel around the fairy kingdom. Now, all the fairies, they all actually preside over little different areas of the fairy kingdom. So this is going to be more fleshed out, and you go to those kingdoms and you have to battle your way through. I suppose almost like Mega Man style to sort of get to the end of them, equip a new power. And then, you can go back to other places, but you still also have the overworld map like you have in Shovel Knight with the rainbow paths. So it's more of a SNES. It will still look SNES, like modern visuals with a sort of SNES vibe, releasing all those places in the kingdom. But then, as you go along, you encounter people who want to play a game of Panel de Pon. So you can break up the action by playing a game of Panel de Pon with them. And, if you beat them, you get something you can equip, or a new item, or something that powers you up that makes your journey easier. So the Panel de Pon aspect is optional. Obviously, there's an option in the main menu to just play the game. But it's there as kind of like a side to this actual full, explorative platform game featuring Lip with her lipstick. And I did think about maybe, instead of power-ups, you just swap out to other fairies. You do some sort of spell and you become a different fairy who has, a different power, which I quite like as well. So you could, in theory, play through the game entirely as one fairy, or sort of swap out. But yeah, just a proper adventure, a side-scrolling adventure game with Lip that sees you traversing the fairy kingdom, saving everybody. Cordelia's been reincarnated, she's back. All the classic bosses are back, but you're playing as Lip's daughter, who is freeing these kind of elderly, wise fairies to bring peace back to the kingdom. And that's it. I will accept questions from the board.
So how much of King of Cards are we plagiarising with this?
No, I'm not plagiarising. So, Panelvania. I actually quite like that. It's not really a Metroidvania, is it? It's kind of. Shovel Knight's not a Metroidvania. It's what would you class it as?
Like a Mega Man like.
Yeah, I'd say
like a sort of side platform action platformer, but not an exploratory action platformer.
It's got stages. It's just also some of those stages are just villages that you can revisit.
Yeah, I do love Panelvania though. I am going to nick that. But yes, so what was the question again?
I said how much of King of Cards?
Are we stealing? Yes. How much am I thieving? No. There's not going to be a hint of King of Cards. So it's just more that idea that during that game you could find people who wanted to engage in that game. So again, you find NPCs who are like, hey, do you want a game of Panel de Pon? And he's like, yeah, I'll play a game of Panel de Pon, and you just face off against them in Panel de Pon. That's it. They're just there to play the game.
So aren't you a little worried about bringing Panel de Pon back and making the actual Panel de Pon part of it completely optional?
That was going to be part of my question.
No, because you can you've got multiplayer on the menu, and you've got single player on the menu, and you've got the 3D one on the menu. I guess if you want to play that, but maybe it doesn't have to be 100% optional. I just think. I think you have to play it as part of you will get parts of the game where it's like, hey, if you want to get past here, you've got to play a game of Panel de Pon. But there'll be easier ones that you can seek out the NPCs who will play harder things, and you have greater rewards for beating them, that kind of thing. So you will have to play the game, and you will have to encounter people. But it's also ultimately a platforming game to grow the brand and grow Lip and grow that story and those characters that we haven't seen over here. I also want to have a 3D mode. Like we had the Virtual Boy 3D Tetris. I want to have paneled upon where it's rising up at you on the screen and you've got to somehow move things around to sort of decrease it. So it's a brand new mode. We've got the rotating world, but we've also got a 3D one coming
Does
at
the
you.
Virtual Boy accessory work with that?
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
Okay.
It's almost built for it, if nothing else. What's the daughter's name? Disposable Hero says. I did say Lip the Second, but I think that's quite boring.
Did you say that the daughter she's the daughter of
Pharrell? So she's the granddaughter of Lip.
Lip the Second is not not the daughter of Lip.
It's not the daughter of Lip, no.
No, but Jason has suggested Leap, as in 2 eyes for the 2 in the middle, which I yes, she's called Leap. I quite like that. And it's a leap, a generational leap. It all makes sense. It's all coming together. Thank you, Jason. Leap is amazing, Johnny. Yes. We've got to wrap it up. Any final questions from the board, John or Josh?
You said Cordelia is back. What about Thanatos?
Oh, yeah, all the classics. All the classics.
They're all here. Everyone is here. Yeah.
Cordelia, Thanatos, Lion, they're all back.
Yeah.
Classic boss Lion. That's the only one I can remember because it's the only one that's too sort of boring to forget, if that makes sense.
Is there any way that we're growing the core gameplay? So you've got these surrounding elements. Is the core gameplay just regular panel upon?
It's regular panel upon. Regular. Do I like any? Like I don't like the items from the DS1 from what I've seen of them. I just think
sometimes it's fine not to grow puzzle games. Like adding more layers isn't always the way to go.
This is it. I think it's actually this is a platforming game and it has panelled upon in here because it's based on the IP that we sort of let slip. It's here if you want to play it, and you can access it. You can do 4-player multiplayer. You can do 4-player online with matchmaking because you can't do that anymore. You can only play with friends on the panel upon SNES. So you've got those features which actually you don't have access to anymore. Yeah, 4-player online multiplayer, local 4-player multiplayer, the the 3D version. So there are like lots of options as a sort of new panelled upon game, but the focus is this new style of game.
Do you think there should be a mobile companion gacha game to get people to really like these characters? Like,
no.
You can get like Lip in a swimsuit.
No, no.
Why don't we just get rid of the platformer?
Just make a gacha game.
Just make a gacha game.
If I do like money. No, I'm not doing that. I'm calling it panelled upon Inglorious Defense of the Magical Pixieville.
So no Lip Bride edition.
No. No! What is wrong with you?
It's just what Fire Emblem does.
Well, true. Well,
gotta get your seasonal event heroes.
I am not having it developed by Intelligent Systems. I'm having it developed by Yacht Club Games because I love what they do with Shovel Knight, and I want them to tackle a Nintendo IP. That is my pitch. But there you have it. 3 very different pitches to bring back the Puzzle League / Panelled Upon series. But do you like John's Panelled Upon? Launching the series as a proper global brand, similar to Puyo Puyo Chronicle, an overworld RPG, Lip is on Rainbow Island, leveling up with encounters to get stronger and give new abilities through battles of Panelled Upon. Written by Hideo Kojima, this game answers the question, what is life? And is developed by Intelligent Systems. Oh yeah, it's all down, John. Or do you like Josh's Panel Island, a reskinned Yoshi game that lays vengeance on the dinosaurs by replacing them this time with the fairies? The OG SNES Yoshi is now in the Fairy Kingdom with a fairy replacement for Baby Mario 2. Puzzle battles in place of boss encounters. This is also developed by Intelligent Systems. Or do you like my Panelled Upon Inglorious Defense of the Magical Pixieville, a sort of Shovel Knight-esque game, which sees a Shovel Knight King of Cards style game, which sees Panelled Upon matches as optional, focused mainly on the platforming, but new versions of Panelled Upon 2, 4-player, multiplayer, online and local, the 3D well, and also a brand new 3D experience where the panels are rising up at you, developed by Yacht Club Games. Or do you have a better idea yourself? Let us know in the comments below. And while you're there, please do like and subscribe. It will help us to grow. You can find us all over on BlueSky. I'll put links in the description. And if you check out our link tree, you can find our Patreon where we do live records just like this every month. We post bloopers and also have our bonus podcast, The Wee Boys. That quest is not going well, guys. I cannot wait to fill you in. Thank you so much for our patrons for being with us today and for giving us lovely questions, joining in with a quiz. So lovely to have you with us. John, Josh, thank you very much for being here. Did you enjoy our Panel de Pon chat? Do you want to see it come back?
I always love talking about Panel de Pon.
We love it. It needs to come back. Yes. Bring it back, Nintendo. Thank you as well for listening, but for now, that's game over. Goodbye.